know we're here to talk about. Love is Blind season 7 is just giving us so much to talk about, man. About, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this without any more blah blah. First, real quick, shout out to our sponsors over at Fresh Division. You can find them at freshdivision.com. If you want to get fresh and get your gear up, we know it's getting into the fall, so you want to get your hoodies on, or you want to get a Christmas present for a friend, holler at Fresh Division, freshdivision.com. They have men and women's gear, socks, everything you need, hats, hoodies, they got it all. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into Love is Blind season 7.
Let's do it.
Y'all saw the last 2 episodes. We did 1 through 3, and then we did 3 through 6. Now we getting ready to bring y'all the next half. This 7 through 9 has just been
7
wild.
through 9.
It's wild.
It dropped some bombs, didn't it?
Man, I feel like the wheels just came off on this thing, bro. Like the wheels was on, and they just came right off.
Right,
so,
right. I mean, so yep. Let's talk about it.
So let's go back to kind of where we started last time.
Okay.
We started basically what we all saw was the wheels really fall off with Alex and Tim, and we still don't know what actually happened. Dom, if you could guess, what do you think sent him to the max where he had to go sleep in another room?
I mean, like I said in the prior video that we did, our last recap, I mean, essentially, I do think, saying she probably was like, you acting like a bitch right now. I just think that's exactly what she said. And, like I said, I mean, I was talking about, I think in the last video, I don't think that he's ready. Like he's got some emotional, mental issues that he needs to deal with. And I think he maybe needs some therapy. Yeah.
Bad.
And because see, certain things like that, when you say something to somebody, like there's certain things that, I think most of us, men who are in relationships, who are married and stuff like that, we know that we can't overreact and be triggered so much about certain things because people are going to say things they're going to regret. Right. So my thing is, when you're talking about a relationship and you're talking about building with somebody, you know that certain people are going to make mistakes and they're going to be outside of their character and say things like that. So you kind of have to take a lot of stuff with a grain of salt. And I just felt like, I mean, he was ready to be done. Like he was like, I'm out.
He walked in the room and said, I was ready for this to be over. I thought this was going to be my last day. I'm going home. So I kind of take it as number one, brothers, before you get in a relationship, if you're a real grown man, go deal with what you got going on so you can be the best version of yourself. Not be the best for her, but the best version of yourself. So deal with what you got going on. A lot of us walking around with trauma. Let's just be honest with you.
Yep.
Especially us 80s babies. We walk around with a lot of trauma, man.
We got some trauma on them.
We don't been through Katrina, 9/11, Columbine. There's a lot of trauma, plus your own personal trauma. So go handle that. Yeah. But
he got a history too.
He got a history, and you could tell he really has not dealt with the grief of his sister. And that's something he got to deal with. But also, there are people, to your point, that you will get in an argument with them, and they're gonna go to the floor because they're losing the argument. And I think that's kind of what happened. Whatever was going on, whatever debate happened, they'll go to the floor. They'll call you out your name. They may even grab you. And then later on, they may feel like, okay, I can apologize and we're cool. If you set the right boundaries, sometimes you can't be cool after that. And that's okay. Right. Because sometimes a boundary's been crossed. And I could see her possibly being one of those people that will call a brother out of his name because we got in an argument. So I applaud him on not, taking it and raising the level and not acting a fool or putting his hands on her, which you should never do. Right. But at the same time, man, this was just kind of, I just wish Netflix would show what actually happened. So that way we could actually judge. I mean,
maybe I just think, it might be a situation where the cameras weren't. Yeah, but the cameras maybe they weren't around or something like that. I mean, it could have could have happened like that. Like, I think at a certain point, especially in Mexico, when they're getting it on, the cameras be like, at a certain point of the night. Think about it though. At a certain point of the night, they're probably looking at the production and cameraman like, all right, now.
And plus, I know when they get back to DC and they're in their apartment, they normally have some cameras that's always like in the living room area that's always recording. So I don't know if they really had it in a hotel or resort setup. Kind of like what you said, when the end of the day we're done filming, y'all go do what y'all gonna do. So I would love to know what actually went down, but we probably never gonna find out. So probably the reunion. They're probably gonna bring it up at the reunion. Yeah,
They're probably gonna bring him.
If they didn't say what happened this time, why would they wait till the end to say it though?
Well, I mean, we'll see. But it does look like they reconciled when they got back to DC.
Right.
Seems like they got right back on the right track.
Well, I like that he actually decided to say, I'm going to give it a chance after she apologized. And that was bigger her. Yeah. Whatever went down,
it was bigger her. She apologized.
And they went on the ATV thing, and it seemed like they started hitting it off again. And he stopped saying my dog. Like, you got to cut out the my dog. No more my dog. I'm going to be honest. If I was her and you kept doing that, I would want to slap the hell out of you. Because I don't want to hear that no more.
Right. No, I get it.
I mean, it was funny the first time, but after like 20, it wasn't funny no more.
Right. I get it. Okay. So they got back to DC. All right. This is what I like about their situation. I mean, clearly Alexandra or Alex, she really was very sensitive about her family situation. And very sensitive about if her family, and she said it in the episode, if her family does not approve of him, it's not gonna happen. It's a no-go. It's a no-go. It's a non-negotiable. This is not somebody who's gonna fight with her family. And I think when we first met the family, like through, I got it. I understood. I mean, we're talking about, it seemed like old school family. And, I think he also, her father was in the military.
Yeah, and that's where they had a common bond because he was in the Navy.
Yep.
He was in the Navy.
Yep.
One of them. Yep. He served.
So I think Tim is in the Navy. Tim is in the Navy. So yeah, I mean, so they once basically she had this like, okay, you can't meet him first. Let me talk to them first, and then you come in with the, And here's another thing I was thinking about. I was like, dang, the first time you meeting the family, not only are they trying to get to know you, but they also are judging your grilling food, because like.
Grill look like he can't grill. Get that food off the grill, Tim. Don't grill nothing else, because them steaks was way overdone. And then he bought the cheap steak. He bought them cheap steaks from Wayfield Foods.
Whoa.
That's $2.99 in the pack, bro.
Damn, man, Kevin. KP, come on now. Come on now.
You mean your in-laws, you supposed to have a New York strip, you supposed to have a ribeye. He bought them, them steaks to be real cheap.
You gotta have Wagyu when you meet them.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. The steak was this thin and the brother left it on the grill for an hour. I know they was like, yo, this joint.
But first of all, don't mix that, because you already nervous. You already nervous. I would never do that. Like, at the worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna order something. Like,
everybody else, or keep it simple and make like chips and dip, bro. Do something simple, because I'm a OKP. Y'all know I like to eat. I like to cook. That's what I do. I get down. Right. He need a reverse sear. There was clearly no reverse sear on that steak. I don't want to see no gray steak with barely seasoning. And then I was like, bro, you black. Where the seasoning at? You serious?
He might have seasoned it before he put it on the grill. We didn't see that part, dog. We didn't see that part.
No more Wayfield Food steaks from the sale. You remember the manager special? Remember we was broke?
Yes.
We was broke
yes.
Before we was doing good, and we was broke and we was young. You go get that manager special, that thing might, hey man, it's on the verge of going bad. It is what it is. I only got $20, so I got to get in where I fit in.
Right.
You don't do that for your in-laws, man. You don't.
Boy, I'm telling you.
My in-laws pull up.
I'm telling you.
When they pull up for Thanksgiving, I got the ribeye roast them. Cooked to perfection. Like we went to Fogo de Chão. Like we went to Fogo de Chão. Perfect medium.
Cause you know black fathers, man, they gonna judge you on that grill, man.
Yeah, they gonna kill you. Fathers, uncles, and I got them. I got
fathers, uncles. Nah, they gonna judge you on that grill, boy.
I got.
You can't come half stepping on that grill. That, so I'm like, dang, you meet him for the first time, and he gonna taste your grilling food?
Yeah, nah. And you giving it. And this food had like no sides. It's like he had corn out of a can, and then like basic baked potato with no topping.
All right. So let's get to the real situation.
Yeah. So let's get to it, because I know there was a point where you said something really hit your heart. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, man. So all right. So the thing was, she wanted, she didn't want her family to know that, because they probably didn't know about the entire thing of the experiment. They probably weren't Love is Blind, regular watchers. So he was like, look, we're gonna kind of come in like, this is who I'm dating, and then you're gonna ask for my hand.
And she didn't even have a ring on.
And I was just
either.
like, no. And yeah, they took the ring off, everything. And he kind of reminded me when that happened. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Hey, Tim, hey, he came with it. It was almost like perfect. Like he was, the way he presented himself. He
made up
was
for
very
that.
respectful. Like he talked to everybody, just very like grown man. Like he was very grown man. You know what I'm saying? And then he asked for them to, like, you know, basically go on outside. Let me talk to the father. And I had kind of forgot about that letter in the pause that he wrote to her father. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he knew traditionally I should be talking to your father first before I,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, basically ask for your hand in marriage. And I just was like,
when you did the engagement, did you do that?
I tried. He didn't answer the phone, but that's another story.
I did it.
Another story.
I did it.
Yeah, that's another story.
I was nervous, but I did it though.
That's another story.
It went good too.
I ended up asking the mom.
I asked both.
She was just like,
I asked both.
Yeah, I ended up asking the mom. He didn't answer. So, you know, I texted in, called, left him voicemail, nothing. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I asked both. I was a little nervous. I felt a lot of pressure because I had it all planned. We gonna go to the park. I'm gonna do it. You know, hopefully, you know, this goes in my direction. We get a yes.
Right.
But I did want to make sure the day before I asked her. I just said, hey, can you keep this under your hat? It's gonna happen the next day. So I talked to her dad and I talked to her mom, and you know, they gave me their blessing. You know, it's all love. We all family now.
Yep. All love. So he read this letter, and man, the letter just, you know, once the father like started like tearing up about it, like I lost it. I was like, oh damn.
Well, I think some of it too because her dad has ALS, and you know,
MS. I think they said MS.
MS. I apologize, but he has MS. So it was already a lot for him to be there. He served. They both served, and Tim really redeemed himself. Yeah. Because, you know, this made up for my dog. It made up for whatever argument they got into. Yeah. Made up for them dry steaks. And I mean, I'm with you, bro. It was emotional. And it was emotional. It was an emotional moment. And it just brings you back. Like, again, I have to give props to Love Is Blind for really kind of like showing, you know, because a lot of these shows don't show this type of side of traditional black, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't show this. I'm gonna be honest, they don't show that side, period. Not just black love, but just period. It's always like, that's true, guys that are too cool are trying real hard. They gotta impress the homies, but also get they holler on. You even see that on Nephew Tommy's show, where dudes are still trying to, you know, play the role and not really kind of just be honest and go all in like we do in real life. So shout out to Nick and Vanessa. I think they did a great job with production, and it made up for season 6 had some whackness to it a little bit, and this made up for it for sure. Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing too. I mean, just in our dating world, you know, just in our dating environment, you know, I appreciate Tim for showing, you know, people how it should be done, kind of like exactly. this how a real man who's trying to marry your daughter should act. Okay, I know that you want your daughter to have somebody approach you in that way with respect. Yeah, and even if very respectful, if the cooking wasn't great, you would appreciate the gesture. You keep going back to them steaks. No, I'm just saying, man. No. What did Eminem say? Keep going back to the mistakes. You got one shot. So we still on the journey with Alex and Tim. So I mean, we'll see. We're about to, you know, watch the 11 and I think 10 and 11. 10, episodes 10 and 11. So we'll see. Hopefully it continues to go good. So far so good in regards to them. So I don't know. It's up in the air with them. I don't know. What do you think? I agree. It's up in the air because it seems like with them, they could be going good and it's going to switch up. You know, something could jump off and it switch again, but hopefully they keep going in the right direction. And I even like the interaction when they went to his house. I feel like she got to know him more by seeing how his house is decorated, but he did a good job again of saying, this is how I live right now because I'm single, but I want to make space for you. And if you want to change some stuff, it's all good. We've seen other seasons where people have not been open to that. No, I can't change nothing. Right. It is the way it is. You can move in. I believe one of them a while back, a dude was a pilot and he wasn't willing to change nothing. Right. Yeah, so that was good. And here's the thing too, we went to her house. Her house wasn't very clean. Bro. But that is something, you know, that's typical. You know, I know there's some people. It was a tornado, straight up. She tried to say, well, you know, I was trying to, like, before I go on the show, no excuse, she get in the bed with them clothes on the bed. She sleep in the bed with the clothes on. She don't care. But I got to give Tim props again. He gave her grace. He didn't say nothing crazy, and he didn't try to make her look bad. So Not bad.
Yeah.
So,
all right, let's go on to the next couple, Tyler and Ashley.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So remember what I said in the last episodes on my recap. I said that was too good to be true.
Too good to be
that
true.
was too good to be true. All right. Looks like they were still going great. I think he met. Did he meet some of her friends?
Yeah,
or
the whole Mexico trip went great. They had no issues. Then I think he met like a couple of her friends, but I know he met her dad. He met her dad. And
dad looked like OG, didn't he?
Yeah, man. They don't cross him. Her dad.
Dad looked like he could be the doting father and a hitman at the same time.
Bruh. He walked straight out of Power, brother. He walked straight out of Power, and he could be at your head, bro. You don't want no piece of that.
Hey, man. Hey, if he cross him, he gonna be like, what is, boy? Like, he's like that Marcellus Wallace character on Pulp Fiction.
Or even better than that, Big Red. Remember Big Red said, my business hours are? And then he went right back to business after he beat the dude up and stomped him out. That's what he looked like. Don't cross Big Red. That's what I was seeing right there. I was like, yo,
I don't know, man.
He clearly hang out with Big Meech and everybody like that. He a real OG. Clearly.
He looked like he had a past, dog. Like he like if he said he would cut up too. Like if he said, I know Frank Lucas. I know the real Frank Lucas.
Probably do.
I know the real Freeway Rick Ross.
He'd be like, I got Jay Prince on the phone right now. You sure you want to do this? I can call Jay Prince right now. That's what it looked like, straight up. But I got to give her dad props because I love how he handled the situation. He handled with love and respect. And at the end of the day, he made it very clear. This is Ashley's decision. And I raised her to make good decisions. So if she say it, then I'm going to go with it. And I'm going to give you all the opportunity and trust you. And I'm going to even be here to be a resource and a help. Now, if you cross her, that's when you got to see me. And I feel like that was the appropriate way to say it. And he said it with respect. He didn't threaten to do it or anything like that. But it was real respectful. And as a father, I liked what I saw because it was like, you really do raise your kids to make great decisions. Because they're not going to be under your roof forever if you actually want them to be successful. So he handled that very well. And then he even got emotional, which I could appreciate too, because I can only imagine he says his only daughter. He made it clear. He said, man, this is my only daughter. I'm going to trust her with you, and I'm going to trust that you're going to take care of her and respect her heart. So I really could do nothing but applaud that man. I really love how he handled it. And I appreciate that he was emotional because I can imagine that's your only daughter. She's now at this stage where she's off on her own. That's emotional because you like, yo, this is what I raised you to do. But it's also like, man, you doing your thing.
Right,
so,
right. Okay, all right. So we can just get right to it.
That's all the good stuff. And then after that, the wheels just came off.
Your boy dropped a bomb.
Yeah, he crashed out. He did a Chino Amigo, and he crashed out. Y'all know Chino Amigo.
Let me go ahead and get into my Tyler mode.
Yeah, let's mask up. So y'all know Chino Amigo. Chino Amigo told y'all, he said, I'm sick of this. I'm about to drive this car into McDonald's and cut his ankle brace off, went on the run. That's what Tyler did. Son was looking real crazy. And then later on told her off camera, because I think he wanted to keep it private, told her off camera, hey man, by the way.
Here's the thing. I think somebody probably, why would you tell her this now?
Well, here's my thing though.
Do you think?
Why did? And I agree with Ashley. Why didn't this come up when we was talking about how many kids you want? Because he straight up, they went and had that conversation in the apartment in DC, and he said he want 3 kids. So I'm doing the
Let's be honest, dog.
I went back to that.
This should have been discussed in the pods. It should have been discussed in the pods, bro.
Early. I went back to
way early.
And I'm like, wait a minute.
And honestly, I do not think this
you talking about 6 kids. You got 6 now. Because you already got 3. And then later
you got the nerve to say I want 6. Then they brought him back down to like 3 or 2.
No. Well, here's where I'm confused too, because it was said that the 3 kids, he basically was a sperm donor.
He was a sperm donor. This is what he's claiming. Can you believe that though?
No. Not at this point I can't. Because if that's the case,
I mean, I don't know.
Can I trust him? Why would you not say that in the pods? Like, yo, I was down bad and I wanted to help somebody, so I was a sperm donor. And it could have been somebody he knew. Because he kind of
you could have said that
he knew.
I think that's an important thing to inform somebody that you did.
Very.
Okay. I just feel like now, I feel like it could be a lie. Because of the fact is, like, I know, like, it's not a lie that you got 3 kids, but he trying to save face and say I'm just a sperm donor rather than saying he's possibly a deadbeat dad.
Right. He trying to keep a clean face card. And I seen the guy on social media
Right.
pull up here and explain yourself, dog.
We'll welcome you on the show.
We'll give you all the opportunity to say what you want to say. We ain't gonna do no gotcha stuff. Pull up, because I seen you on other social media and it didn't really make sense. He said that he wanted to say it a bunch of different times, but the right time didn't come up. And it's kind of like Jedi mind tricks her, right?
Nah. There's more to that, because the sperm donor was the out. Like, I'm just a sperm donor, and I'm making myself look better than I really am because I'm just a sperm donor. I actually helped a family out to have children, bro. No,
and that's the thing.
That
why is that
should have been discussed in the pod.
Should have come up.
That should have been discussed.
And I feel bad for Ashley. She seems like a very, very nice young lady. And why would you do it like that, man? You got her looking crazy on TV, and now you look crazy too. So
I mean, here's the thing. Like, you can't blame these women because these men. Like, again, it just like, why? Okay, because we'll get to the other couple. It's just like these men are just failing, man. It's looking bad, man.
And that's the thing too. You actually got a good catch from what we can see.
He got a great catch.
You know what I'm saying?
Incredible. You
got a great catch. So why would you mess this up? Even if you didn't say it in the pods, why not say it before y'all went to Mexico? How about on the plane ride? Yeah, it's not a short plane ride.
He should have said this. He should have said this in the pods. Should have came out in the pods.
Definitely.
Okay. Period. Definitely. All right, so we'll it is what it is. We'll see if she can get over this. I mean, do you think she should get over this?
No.
I mean, just from your personal opinion?
No, because
here's the thing. Do you think she would have gotten over it in the pods? If he would have told her in the pods, it would have been okay.
I think they could have worked it out and they could have had an honest conversation about it. But now after the fact,
agreed.
I don't see
But now it's like, I can't trust anything you say.
Well, because here's the thing. We only known each other a short amount of time. So we got to be as honest as possible. This isn't like a regular real life situation where this can play out over 6 months or a year or whatever.
Yep.
This played out in like a 2-week span in 10 days.
Right.
So you need to really be honest with somebody in 10 days. And I don't see where you can move forward with an actual lifelong commitment and you couldn't tell me this up front.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. This is the type of reason for you to say no at the altar.
I agree.
They might go all the way to the altar, but you're going to be like, I can't trust anything you say.
Right.
Like, because that was such a big, that's not something that you when you sitting here like this and you know what you did. You know what you did.
Well, and it's the thing too. She don't really even have an opportunity to fact check it because of how it's being displayed right now. So yeah, man. Tyler, you don't.
I think it ruined it.
You straight up pissed me off. I was rooting for you. I was like, yo, he gonna be the ace of the show, and now you like the fool of the show. So you need to clean this up, man. Straight up.
Should have known.
It was too good.
Should have known, bro. Like I said, something wasn't quite right. I knew it.
Well, let's talk about something else that's not quite right. Let's talk about Garrett and Taylor, man. I'm telling you, man, I know that, they are considered a boring couple. They love the science and all that. And you could tell, especially in Mexico, Garrett is frustrated. He's sexually frustrated because everybody else is exercising except for him. So
I think he's good with it, though. Like, I think they're both into each other pretty equally. So, I'm telling
you, man, I think it's too good to be true. I don't think they're gonna make it to the finish line.
You think this is too good to be true?
Yes.
Because I don't see that in them.
I don't.
They look like they just mesh. Like everything just meshes.
Here's and we'll jump into this couple later on. But if you remember when they were in Mexico and the fireworks situation happened, right? He's off standing and talking to Steven. And they were in some deep conversation when they was whispering to the point that the microphones ain't really pick up what they were saying.
Right.
And here's my thing. What were y'all talking about that was so important that y'all couldn't go do the fireworks things with y'all ladies and everybody else did it? So
true. But I don't know.
And
he seems like a good guy to me. I don't know, but I mean, I could be wrong.
Here's the thing, too. You have people from two completely different cultural backgrounds, and you've never really been around somebody from another culture like that can quickly go left when you feel like we're on the same page and you're actually really wrong. So I'm just saying, I think it's a possibility that some things may not line up. They may not feel the same page from a cultural standpoint or even from a political standpoint, and we've seen that blow relationships up in the past. But
true.
I'm just telling you, something is telling me they're not gonna make it to the finish line. I hope I'm wrong, man.
I hope you're wrong. But here's the big thing. I think this was kind of a big, like, and I don't know if she said it more in the pods or in Mexico or what, but like from these episodes that I just watched, all of a sudden, I don't want to live in
DC.
you know, the DC area. I want to move to San Diego.
She said she was from out that way and she wants to go back to the West Coast.
Get it,
and she
but
basically told him, like, I get it if you don't want to do it, but I'm going. So like, where does that really leave
right
him?
It was like she dropped the ultimatum on him, and
Right.
they're headed to the altar. Like, whoa, wait a minute now. You didn't even it was no like talk about it. Like, can we, like, how about we have a plan together? Like, eventually maybe we'll move to San Diego, but like you're gonna move, like, and that's it. Like, we don't even want to discuss it.
Well, here's what I think is the real world situation. That probably she had a job out there already, or has a job, and now she gonna have to go back to work.
What's she doing in DC then?
Being on the TV show.
So you came all the way to DC just to be on the TV show? That don't make no sense.
Some people want to get their Instagram followers up. You never know. You know,
I think he did say. I think he did say he has his own business where he can work remote.
He does.
So it's not a big deal to him, but it's like you're taking him away from his family.
Right.
You know, like,
and and I know she thinks the fly fishing is boring, which I agree. They're both boring. But he brought up a great point too. Yes, he's doing well for himself and has his own business, but the expensive cost of living is so much different from DC to LA. I mean, from San Diego, excuse me.
San Diego,
it's a
right.
Big.
Although San Diego is beautiful. I don't know if you've ever been out there.
Gorgeous,
I love it. It's beautiful. But man, it's hot. It's hot.
No, you'll sober up when they tell you that beach view is $4,000 a month. You'll sober up real quick and carry your butt right back to the East Coast.
Right.
You'll sober, or you go look for a house over there and they tell you $3 million and it's a 2-bedroom with 800 square feet. You know what? I need to go back to the East Coast. I'm good. I'm gonna go back to Georgia where things are a little bit more reasonable. I'm gonna go back to DC, go back to the South where it's way more reasonable.
Right.
That'll sober you up real quick.
Right.
So, you know.
So do you think you still think they're gonna, you know, like, what do you think is still up in the air, or you just say no, they're not gonna make it?
They're not gonna make it, bro. And I think he's saying yes to go along with it, but in reality, man, I think the reality is gonna set in. That, yo, man, this isn't for me. Or I didn't plan on spending this much money to change my living situation, because that's expensive.
Right.
That's a super expensive move from DC to San Diego.
That's true. It is very expensive.
You ain't doing no U-Haul, bro. You got to get actual movers.
Right.
So,
all right, well, we'll see. All right, let's move on to the next couple.
Man, let's talk about old kicker, old Nick, man.
Yeah, the punter, the kicker,
long snapper.
Seemed like Peter Pan,
bro,
of the show.
How was Nick living? This fool was living in the basement. Straight up, big child in the basement, bro.
You know what though? I have to say his parents seem pretty nice.
They super cool.
I see why.
They super cool.
Super cool.
Bruh, this man.
I see why he living with his parents.
He ain't got to pay no rent. They cook for him and they pay his cell phone bill. And he's 28 years old.
And then he in the basement. Is that the basement got a pool table down there?
Well,
like, I mean,
that
you know,
usable because the pool table had a bunch of stuff all over it. They had clothes and boxes all over, wasn't even usable.
Boy.
Hannah going in on this man and basically checking him like he's a child, saying like, if you don't know how to do anything, if you don't live on your, I've been out here since I was 18, getting it out the mud. I was like, pump your brakes.
Okay, see how maybe we were talking about, you know, Tim is not ready. Hannah is not ready.
No.
She is unrealistic, bro. You are not gonna be like, I mean, golly. I mean, just snatch the pants off this man, Nick, dog. Like, no. Yo, how are we gonna do our finances? How are we gonna, like, these are real, like, questions, but it was like you were asking the questions and then telling him what's gonna happen. Well, like how it's gonna go.
My thing was even bigger than that. Ain't nobody finna tell me that I'm gonna do the dishes this many days a week because they said so. That's crazy. Yep. And then she was like, yeah, I vacuum every day. Since I vacuum every day, you gonna vacuum every day.
Vacuum, yep. And you're gonna take the dog out. And you're gonna, I was like,
this would have been my response. Look around, I don't know who you talking to. You can't be talking to me. You gotta be talking to him over there, because you ain't talking to me. That's not even possible. I mean,
at that point, I was actually surprised. He was like, yeah, this not gonna work.
Yeah, I would have just...
That conversation, I was like, this not gonna work.
I would have slick been like, yeah, man, you know what? it's cool. We tried, but yeah, this ain't.
We tried, this ain't gonna work, because he was more like, okay, you know, I'll learn it, I'll get better, I'll do it,
No, she even hit him with the 401k.
She telling him, oh, we gonna join our accounts and you gonna need to do stocks. And he was like, well, I don't know about stocks. I just,
and then she belittled him like, what do you mean you don't know about stocks?
She belittled him.
28 years old, and you're gonna do insurance. You're gonna get this insurance. You're gonna do 401k. And he like, yo, man, I'm just trying to sell houses, bro. I just got into real estate last week. I was playing in the XFL and I got cut, man. I just really got into this last week. I don't know what's going on in the real world.
It's not that crazy. The man is 29. Like, he's 29. Like, I mean, she was talking to him like he was 49.
No,
like, look.
She was talking to him like he was 13, like he was a kid.
Yeah, that's true too. Like, like, she was saying like, you should have all this in place. You should know about this.
Right.
And like, dude, like, I understand how some women are gonna feel with him living with his parents. I get that.
Right.
I get that. But it's not like he has. It's an understandable story to say that, and that was his point. What is the point of paying rent in these random cities? And these athletes go, they getting cut one day, transferred to another team another day. Like, he's just like, it don't make sense. So I'm just gonna continue to live with my parents. So
and he plays in
possibly
professional leagues, and I think that's the part that you have to kind of understand as an NFL player or XFL, AFL. Most of those guys are not like where Cam Newton is at, or where Kirk Cousins is at, or Derek Carr. Guys that got huge big contracts, or Patrick Mahomes. Most of them guys ain't got that contract.
In those leagues like that, CFL stuff like that, they making what regular people make.
He might be making $30,000 to $50,000.
Maybe
there. As a kicker. As a kicker, you might be making what? 700,000.
In NFL, they make like 700-900.
Right.
The kickers do.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the best guy, like a Justin Tucker, he might get $2 million. Maybe.
He get 2-3 million. Yep.
Right. So it's not like you doing what and kickers can easily get cut and switch teams. There's very few kickers that you're gonna see them on the same team like Justin Tucker or Younghoe Koo, where they play for the same team indefinitely.
Harrison Butker.
That
mother.
Right. All them other kickers, they switching teams every year trying to get a job. They got to try out for their job. So he's trying out, and that's another thing too, to understand his lifestyle. So if you've been doing this since you left college, playing in different professional leagues, it makes sense now that you don't really have all this because you haven't had to do it. And as a football player, let's just put him in the NFL. You're only working for what? 4 months? 3 months? If your team is really good, 4 months.
Right.
And it's over. And it's over.
Right.
So, like, if I'm only going to
he's trying to go to the other league, whatever league is playing.
There you go. And even if he was an NFL player, think about this. He's working 3 to 4 months out of the year. And let's just say he played for the Commanders. And he's not from there. You're going to go back to wherever you're from. Right. Because you don't need to be there in the off season. You don't even know nobody there.
Right.
So I think you should have put that.
And like I said, 29. So like she could maybe have a point if he was like 39, 49, because like clearly that life was a long time ago. Like he clearly could probably still be kicking at 29. Like so maybe it wasn't that long ago.
She could have a good point if the brother had like no ambition and was just at his parents' house and like he was a regular college grad sitting at home not doing nothing. Now you have a point.
Nah, he was trying to be in real estate. Right. He had the cards.
Right. But now you have a point.
You know what I'm saying?
This man's actual job. It's like if you got a homie that play basketball and they got to go play in Europe because they're not at NBA level. That's okay. Right. So I just think she didn't really understand it. And you could tell she didn't really understand him as a football player because she keeps harping on the Travis Kelce thing. And I'm like, yo, man, ain't no kicker that look like Travis Kelce. Plus, on top of that, if dude was really, really at that level, he wouldn't be on a TV show. Right. You know, because he gonna have access.
His parents, like we go back to it, man. They nice as I don't know what. They love Hannah. Of course, they didn't see what really is going down. Like Hannah's brother saw. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, you know, because she softened up around them, of course. She not as hard,
She
you
came
know,
with a
she
gift
wasn't.
for them. She brought both
She
of them
did.
gifts, which I
She
thought was
did.
nice.
She
But
did.
I can appreciate that Hannah's brother kept it real and was like, yo, man, she difficult and she talks crazy. You
Yeah.
gotta be prepared for that. Because he's like, we fall out all the time because she talk crazy to me and then doesn't apologize.
Right.
So
I can see it. I can see it. This is definitely not the Hannah in the pods. Hannah in the
No.
pods was like, you know, like, ooh, oh, this is like, who is this chick? Like,
no, she's on. I'm on a
bossing
new
me
level.
around, like.
She's on. I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level.
All right, well, I don't think they're
They're
gonna
not
make it. I
They're
think
not
that's
gonna
a
make it.
no.
They're not
That's
gonna
a
make
no. They're not gonna make it.
Both
I don't
of
even
them-
think they're gonna.
Both of them.
Are they even gonna make it to the altar? They might not even make it to the altar. To
I
me.
think so because Nick got to get his check, man. He you know, he got to get that check. So you guys,
He need that money, don't he?
That's why Nick's sitting there like, yeah, whatever you say, I got to get this check. Hey, run me my 50K right now. Run me my 50K.
Hey, and I can't wait till he get it. Like, he's probably gonna make it all the way to the altar, but then he's gonna tell her about herself, how she disrespected him, talked down to him, and belittled him. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know what man is gonna be dealing with that, but it certainly ain't gonna be me.
Yeah, that happened like 2 seasons ago where a guy got all the way to the altar and then told the girl about herself.
Yeah, you probably right. He wants that money.
Yeah,
you right.
Gotta get that
you
money.
right.
But they're not gonna make it, and they both need to say no to each other. All right.
Now, we was talking about how great Nick's parents were and how nice his parents were. Boy, Marissa and Ramsey's. Marissa's mom came with that business.
Bruh, she went at this man's neck from the beginning. She was on him from the beginning, from jump. When they sat down, she was ready to squabble, bruh. Before he even got a word
and you
out.
Could tell, it's like she sat down and she was like, you got to be kidding me. What's up with this hairstyle?
Yo, she said 80s hairstyle and then said, yo, you got a Jerry curl like you up in here like you Easy or something. You trying like El DeBar? And then she said, what's up with the Prince Hakeem? You got the 2 Prince Hakeem ponytails? What you think this the 80s, man? I was like, whoa, she straight flamed him, bro.
The second she sat down and she was like, not this guy.
Yeah.
Really?
She's like, really? So this who you want to be engaged to this fool right here. And then she even asked him, she was like, yo, what's up with the two ponytails, man? What is that? What are you doing? Is that a cultural thing? And I got to give him props because she put mad pressure on him and he really just took it. Like, he never responded. He didn't get out of himself and he just took it. But, man, and then she went in on him. She said, what do you do for a job? So you broke. So you just gonna try to live off my daughter after she get to be a lawyer?
Well, she said she's like, look, I'm sure you got a good, you know, thing going or whatever, but my daughter's basically, she said my daughter's gonna be a lawyer and you're not gonna take her money.
Right.
Period.
Dom, I need you to dispel this rumor because you are an actual lawyer. You are a practicing attorney. Yeah. Just because you're a lawyer does not mean you're gonna make Johnny Cochran money. Is that a fact? Or is that fact?
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Because I mean, it depends what area of law you go into.
Right.
Okay. Because some of us lawyers are doing more of the public servant type work. You know, you could be a public defender. You could be working for legal aid. You know what I'm saying? You could be doing the stuff for the people that need the legal work, but it doesn't necessarily pay, you know, like the difference with the corporate lawyers, the personal injury lawyers, the big firm lawyers.
And let's be honest, a lot of personal injury lawyers ain't really making a lot of money either because they got to chase.
Well, yeah, because I mean, they need that big break. You know what I'm saying? They're all trying to get that accident, that you know, that $1 million accident.
They're trying to get that kid.
Not everybody can do that.
They trying to get that.
But I mean, if they're working for like, you know, a firm, you know, another thing, the firm, you know what I'm saying, will take the majority of the money and you just get a piece of it.
Right.
So, you know, yeah, it's true. But here's the thing. Just because she asked him to do a prenup, prenups are for everybody. The misconception is that prenups are just for people who got real money, of what you say. That's not true. I mean, prenups are specifically there so that it makes, if you do divorce, it makes things a lot easier in regards to stating what was your separate property and what was your marital property.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So there's no a mixture of it, because the fact is that, you know, she might have a condo and they move into the condo together, but she had the condo prior to them getting married. The condo, you know, all of a sudden when they're getting a divorce, goes up to like $2 million. Now you got like $1.4 million equity now, you know what I'm saying? But she lived in it and bought it and purchased it prior to the marriage. So the point is, if you would have had a prenup, although when it wasn't worth much, that would have just said that's separate. So he can't even come after that. But now he's going to come in there and say, hey, I bought the dishwasher. I bought the washer and dryer. I painted the walls. If it wasn't for me, I told you to Airbnb this place. And now look how much money it's making. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Well, I think also if you put some context into it too, depending on how long you guys been married, I think the right thing to do is, let's just split the money and let's go on down our separate ways. Especially if you've been married like a decade or something like that or longer, split the bread and go your separate way, but it ain't really worth it to go back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it just depends, bro. It just depends, because you could end up like Jeff Bezos, and hey, it is what it is. Like, I think Jeff Bezos.
I think he's doing okay.
Bill Gates, hey, while you was in the
Well, Bill Gates said that he was a trash husband and he had no problem giving her half. He said he never even fought her on it. He wanted to do that because he was not a good husband. He wasn't around. Right. And I think Jeff Bezos was like, bro, I'm still going to be a billionaire after this.
Yeah, he's still going to be a billionaire. Shout out to Jeff Bezos for divorcing, because his wife is giving all the money to HBCUs. Like,
right.
I don't know what. So, how about this? It's all good.
Son was like, it don't matter. Y'all still going to be running me my $12.99 for Amazon Prime. I'll be okay.
This is true.
I ain't worried about that.
All right. Anyways, okay. So yeah, her mom was giving him the business. I think the big thing with them was what kind of sparked my interest with their situation was his whole moral position on her being in the military.
About the mom and him. Not only did he handle it, but I feel like one of the things I did like that Marissa said, she really stepped up and said, I know my mom is very out of bounds.
Yeah,
has really crossed the line with her.
She stood up to the mom too.
She stood up to the mom there at the actual lunch. Her siblings stood up to the mom, and afterwards she stood up to the mom, and she just said, "This is a little bit unrealistic for you to keep talking about prenups and stuff. I haven't even finished law school. I literally just got in, so we're talking about something. Who knows if I even decide to finish this?" So I really respect her for that and not going off of the perception of I'm going to be a millionaire and be Johnny Cochran just because I'm a lawyer. So I really respected that. I thought that was awesome. But to your point, man, they got into a serious argument. I would say it was an argument. I know it was calm and nobody was yelling, but it was an argument over her service because she served in the Navy. Yeah. And she was proud of it. But one of the things I really loved about her conversation about that, she really broke down what did that mean to her from a perspective of service and that she does love her country and she believes in it, but she also saw some things that she felt like it could be a little bit imperialistic, right? And she did these things and that wasn't in the best interest of people around the world. There were things that I didn't like that I did that I didn't agree with personally. And I thought there's nothing more American by saying I'm proud of America, I'm proud of my service, but I also don't agree with some things that are happening and want things to be better. So I thought that was a very mature conversation she had. And Ramsey saw that totally different. He was like, so you serve in the military. So you were a part of the imperialistic system. You're part of basically,
hey, this kind of goes to exactly what, is our issues and current events that we're dealing with today. It's just like, if you're part of the government, it's just like the same thing in the Palestine-Israel type of conflict. If you're part of the government, you are part of the, as they say, basically the killing of Palestinians and blah, 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 blah. And that's exactly what Ramsey, what the thought he was thinking. Hey, if any part of the government, any part of the military, if you're in any way participating in it, you have contributed to the deaths of people that shouldn't have been, it's just like, okay,
and then this is the thing too. Well, I think this is where we got to put in perspective with him. That dude is from Venezuela, so they got a real different interaction with the military than what we have over here in America. So I think that was the part that was getting lost in translation. But this is my thing. She even talked about possibly re-enlisting, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll be out." And here's my thing too, Ramsey. You must not be that educated on military, benefit. Because if your spouse in the military, you get to go to Navy Federal.
You ain't
got to go to the regular bank no more.
KP, he's beyond that. He's not. It's beyond that.
And son
He don't care about the money.
I bet you they buy a house. I bet you won't turn that military loan down.
I don't see it.
Because guess what?
I don't see it.
When you in the military, you don't get turned down for a loan, brother.
Nah, he don't care nothing about that. He does. Yeah, I could see it in him. He said for real. If we re-enlist, we're out. And here's the issue. She's becoming a lawyer. Let me just put it to you like this. She has that military background. She could become a JAG and she could work as a military lawyer. Are you gonna be out then? Because that actually is a possibility because of her military background.
Right.
Because she's not gonna have to go through the basic training and stuff like that a lot of people who go, that are entering the military, like if she's already in the military, it's a like really smoother transition to go into like basically, military law essentially.
And do you not know where you live? You live in DC, bro. And she was in the military.
That's another thing. Like he's not living in Portland, Oregon. He's in DC. That's like the military government capital of the world.
Exactly.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, of course you're gonna meet somebody like that.
She might be Attorney General one day. What are you talking about? You sound crazy.
I think he was off base on that, and I don't know. I feel like she was turned off. I know her friends were turned off by that.
Definitely.
So that was
one of her friends served too, and she was like, "I'm proud of my service," and he was like, "Proud of your service? Who should be proud of that?" And I was like, "You probably shouldn't say that out loud."
You don't mess with that because that's the thing. You don't know what they went through.
Right.
You don't know what they dealt with.
Right.
All you're thinking about is you're just thinking about hey, the people that are suffering at the hands of the military, but you also don't know about the situations like, because he kept saying, but you guys chose that. You guys chose that. Like, I mean, my grandfather didn't choose that. I know they don't do that anymore because he was drafted, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, at the end of the day, you can look at the military, it's like, it's somewhat a defense to my country. Okay, like I don't always agree with the policies and everything that they're doing over there. You can totally not agree with that, but it's like without the military, bro, like I don't want to live in a country without a military.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do.
How about this? When you're in the military, they give you an order and you have to follow the order. Literally.
There you go. Yeah, but
they don't ask you,
he's like,
they don't ask you
his point.
They don't ask you your opinion. That's what you need to do. They gave
his point was you chose that. She signed on the dotted line to go into the military. She could have done something else.
Yeah, and I think
that was his.
Ramsey comes from a different country, and Venezuela again has a complicated military history. But I think what he doesn't understand too is some folks go there to learn certain skills so they can be more marketable.
Thank you.
Out. Some people need that level of discipline so they can be an upstanding adult later on. So there's a lot of different reasons. And some people, I may not have a lot of options, and this is the best one. So I'm gonna go.
Or they get money for college.
Right.
Like a lot of people use
I
that.
I want to go to college for free, or I want to be able to easily buy a house. There's a whole bunch of different reasons why people.
Yep.
So
I think he was his position. I understand his position, but I felt like it was unfair. It's unfair to and you knew, that's the thing in the pods. You knew she was.
Facts.
She was in the military. You knew that.
Well, and not to mention that in the pod, she was also dating somebody else that was former military as well.
There you go.
Because I think
but
he
didn't want to say in the pods. I just want to let you know if you continue in the military, I can't be with you.
He didn't want to say in the pods, I hate the military, because clearly he does. I thought they were gonna make it. Now I'm nervous. I don't know.
You're skeptical because of that. Skeptical. I feel like. I don't know.
She made a great point. She said, even if I don't serve anymore, I would not want my husband to be embarrassed by my past service.
Right. Because you got to also think about your children.
Right.
Your children. Every time you say, "Here's mommy on the ship," I was, blah blah. This is my picture on the ship when you were killing all the innocent. Nobody want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? No.
Happy Veterans Day, brother. That's it. Just say Happy Veterans Day, like a normal person, man. Keep it moving.
Like homie up there, like trying to put her uniform in the trash.
Right.
Like maybe she's gonna want to put up, the flag and the uniform. She could have had medals. So you don't want to see none of that. Like you don't no.
And again, you live in DC. You're gonna meet a lot of people in the military in DC. You should probably move somewhere else, then, if that's how you feel.
All right.
Keeping it rolling.
All right, let's get to our last.
Now it's the last dumpster fire, and this is like. This was like if you were driving in your car and somebody loosened all the lug nuts and all the wheels came off on the highway at 80 miles an hour and tore your car up, and now it's just sparks everywhere. This is what happened here.
Man, didn't I say in the last video that he was kind of slick creepy?
You said that.
Didn't I?
Yeah,
I think I did say that.
So
I think I
here's
did
where the
say
crack
that.
started.
Again.
The crack started in Mexico
Again.
because they had a fireworks session and everybody's booing up to go with their fireworks, and she says,
Yep.
"Hey, come watch the fires with me." He's like, "I'll be there in a minute. I'm talking to the homie Garrett right now," and they over there whispering.
The homie Garrett.
And so then later on, she's like, "So what was y'all talking about?" He was like, "Yeah, so we were just talking. We were talking about, you know, we're gonna get all these DMs with girls trying to, you know, give you some head." She was like, "What?
Right.
Say that again now? Y'all talking about getting
Yep.
DMs from people that want to give you sex that don't know you." Yeah, that's what we was talking.
Right.
And again, he over communicated and started rambling because I couldn't even follow the conversation. It didn't make no
Right.
sense. Whatever you were saying, it just started sounding like Charlie Brown. I was like, this man ain't making no sense. And she's sitting there like, that's just stupid what you just said. That's just dumb.
Right.
I mean, clearly we all know we're gonna get DMs of people offering us stuff, but who cares?
Yeah,
I came on
clearly
here to meet
that's
you.
obvious. I mean, you're on
Right.
pretty much international. You're on Netflix. Like everybody's seeing this, so of course you're gonna have your, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have your groupies. Like, I mean, that's normal. Like, but he was like, yeah, but I'm gonna have my groupies though. It was
Right.
like,
And he's sitting there strategizing with Garrett
Like-
on how to respond. I was like, just don't respond. Like, why is this a conversation? Like, what are we doing? So that was the first crack. And then,
yeah,
you know, they got home.
that was the sign.
And it was started kind of going left. You know, it already went left too, because remember, she said that she liked flowers and he didn't give her the flowers. And she was like, that's a big deal to her. And she was like, you know, gifts is like my second thing. I buy expensive Christmas presents. And this is where they were not on the same page. This man told you he ain't got no Christmas present in 5 years. So what makes you think that he's gonna buy you a YSL bag? Because she said he named, I think he named like a Steve Madden bag.
No, he said Tory Burch.
I don't even know what that is.
I was like, damn, dog. Now I know who Tory Burch is. That's so like
Where you buy that at?
10 years ago.
Where you buy that at?
That's like, that's old.
Okay, so he said that.
It's just not, it's not trendy anymore. Let me put it like that. It's not as trendy as it used to be.
So then
Not
she
saying
said-
it, it's still designer.
She was like, no, YSL. He was like, what's that? And then she said, okay, what about Louis Vuitton or Gucci? I think she said Louis Vuitton. He was like, is he important? I was like, oh Lord. This man ain't never even heard of Louis Vuitton. That's
I mean, you know, he don't deal high maintenance woman.
Nah,
like that,
he
man.
clearly
You know
don't. And I was like, this just shows y'all are not on
that. He
the
ain't
same
messing with no
page.
high maintenance.
When the man
Nah.
said, I don't got to get you something super nice, and now you asking for Louis Vuitton and Gucci bags and YSL. Like, that's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. You're not on the same page. But this is where I really thought it went left too, before it really totally crashed, right? They kept getting into the situation of him like over talking her and not letting her talk. And then it seemed like it was getting awkward. He kept saying weird stuff. And then
Yeah, he's saying weird stuff. The whole, how about anal? Or like,
Right.
he was like going through, that was like,
bro, they were sitting there having a serious conversation about finances. My guy went in and said, yeah, so are you down for anal? And I was like, no, she's asked you what you want for dinner. What are you doing here? She asked you how many nights a week you gonna cook, and now you talking about anal? And then she said, yeah, that's only for my husband. My husband only gets to go in the back door. I was like, wow, that's wild. To even ask somebody that on camera, that's wild.
and then knowing you're on like basically
Like,
Netflix,
her mom and dad
national,
gonna see that.
international TV, right?
That's
Your
wild.
parents gonna see this. You asking your future wife, is she down for anal?
That's wild. Like,
camera.
that's dastardly, bro. That is straight up dastardly. Like, bro,
No.
what's next? You gonna ask her, does she
Boy,
swallow on camera?
Steven had zero fucks. He was trying to
Dog,
like
he
see.
is a straight up freak. He is a freak, bro. You gonna ask the girl on like,
Boy, he
what you
freaky
gonna ask her in front of her
diggy, boy.
parents, like, hey man,
About
I
anal.
mean, you know, you down for a menage? Like, whoa, calm down, bro. So
Hey man, hey.
now I can
hey.
understand why her parents don't want to be on camera, because she made it clear they don't want to be on camera, and I don't think his parents really want to either. I don't think they were very interested in being on camera either. But it really went off the rails.
Boy.
You
Thank
guys-
goodness they didn't bring the parents into this though.
Dog.
They before this
No,
happened before
no,
that.
no,
Cause
because I wouldn't want no parts of hearing that you want to do that with my daughter. I might take off on you. That's crazy. That's crazy.
so the thing was, she found some text messages.
Yeah.
I had to like research this
How
because
did
they
she
didn't
find
really
them,
say
though?
it in the
Like,
show.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
like, were they,
I had to
were they
research
sharing
it. I had to
iCloud
go.
accounts or something?
So supposedly, for some reason, she like I think like they were chilling either like Garrett and because you remember like Garrett and Taylor
Yeah,
were
that's
there,
like they homies. They be chilling with them.
and supposedly they were like either they were together doing something like baking cookies or something like that.
Mhm.
He went certainly to the back, and I think Garrett was coming back from the store or something, and so Garrett tried to call this. I mean, and if I'm wrong, in the comments, I could be wrong, blah blah, because I could have kind of misremembered some things, but supposedly Garrett was trying to call him, and he had his phone out, and so they were like, Garrett's calling, blah blah, well, I'll answer it. Yeah, I think he was coming back to the apartment or something.
Okay, so
that,
the
right?
safe mode was on where it reads the messages.
Something like that. Now, I don't know how she got into whatever, but his Instagram was also open, and they saw some DM. No, I know what it is. The girl called or something like that while, she saw his phone, and so they saw some of the messages or whatever.
Yeah,
from that girl.
They was some real
something like
messages. Like it was like,
yeah,
you want to have a threesome, you want to anal, you want to do all of this,
and he going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with her.
It was like,
and he was going back and forth with her the night before,
right?
And then then the thing was, he didn't come home that night,
right? He said,
and he claims
he went to a
sleep test. It was just like a sleep test. First of all, I had to Google that. I've never heard of a sleep test. You've heard of a sleep test before?
I mean, only one I saw was like in The Exorcist. That's in a movie, so I didn't know that was a real thing.
I mean, I think it's like something that helps you with your sleep disorder.
Right, but I didn't think that's something you get paid for, because he was like, he got paid for it because he lost his job. Remember, that's something else where they fell out.
Right.
While he was on the show, he lost his job because he was an electrician. The foreman told him, we don't have a job for you anymore. You've been gone too long. So she said, well, I'll look out for you because you're looking for a job. I'm good. I'll look out for you. We're a couple. That happens. Right. It's okay. You'll find another one. My thing was, okay, I've done like a paid taste test before. That's cool. Like, you go eat something and they give you an opinion. You get paid. That's cool. Whatever. I ain't never heard no paid sleep test. Like, cause I'm not sure how that helps anybody but me. I know it helped me, but I can't say how it's gonna help you because none of us sleep exactly the same. So that was a little wild.
And then I don't think you're supposed to like get drunk and then do a sleep test. Right. That's another thing.
No, you're not supposed to get drunk.
So he claimed I was drunk. I don't trust none of this. Like I felt like the sleep test, the drinking, that was all a cover up of what he was really doing.
Like when you ask your kids, like, did they do something? And they come up with the most wild answer that don't make no dang sense.
Right.
That's exactly what he did. I was like, he couldn't even think of no good story. He could have been like, yo, man, I was hanging out with Dom. I got drunk. I had to sleep on Dom's couch. You call him right now. He tell you I was on the couch. He ain't even do that. I was like, oh, man, a sleep test?
This kind of reminded me of season 6 with your boy who came in at like 6 in the morning and put the sunglasses on. Talking about he was just in the alley or in the car talking.
Yep. And he blew that up, man. That was crazy. That didn't make no sense. He was like, yeah. And then he didn't even know you shared your location, you dummy. She knew you was.
That reminded, I went right back. I was like, dang, second season in a row. We got a dude tripping.
I was looking at your location the whole time. You was right outside of her apartment at 4 a.m. You sound crazy right now. You sound crazy.
Yep.
Steven is very dastardly. He went through all his sexual fetishes in these messages, and then obviously Monica got a hold of him, and I felt so bad for Monica because she was crushed, man. She was crushed.
She was crushed. I mean, because here we go again. Remember what I said in the previous videos. Look, I mean, I hate this. She's looking at her age. Although she'll be fine. I mean, she's on the. She'll probably blow up from this show. People will feel like she.
Her DMs,
you'll have mad. Like there's no Monica. Trust me, Monica. Look at your DMs.
They'll be full,
okay. You'll be fine.
There's no
but I think
trying to talk to her.
I understand her feeling though, because it was like I know. Remember, I said I feel like she was forcing it. Like she didn't really like him, but she was just like
the bad end of a lot of these relationships. Because she said that in there when she's breaking down, why do people keep dogging me and treating me bad and that sort of thing. So.
And it was like, here we go again.
Right.
But this is also a teachable moment, because it's like this is the reason why a lot of times when you get to somebody and they have that relationship trauma, and it's like when they finally get somebody who's genuine or who's like upfront and very forthcoming, they just don't believe it. They're like, I don't trust it. Right. Like for instance, if who is DMing you, like it's that, and you kind of understand when somebody gets, now that you've dealt with all that, somebody like a Steven, you know, and now, you know, she can't bring herself to not go through your phone or not, you know what I'm saying? It brings out all that in her next relationship, and which is just unfortunate because Steven, he's just a freak.
He's a freak. Son is a
He's
freak.
just a freak, dog.
Steven might have been at the freak off party, brother. He's way out there. He's way out there. And then she went through and she was like, so you were saying all this nasty stuff? This is what you really want to do? Freak. He like, yeah. He put his head down. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And then it's like he was caught. Like he was like a
kid.
I shouldn't have gone on this show. I shouldn't have gone on this show.
She said, you want to get tied up and you want anal and you want to get electrocuted. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And while I'm having a threesome. I was like, whoa.
It's okay, man. Steven got some wild fetishes, dog. No, he does not. He on the wrong show, dog. He is on the wrong show.
Man. You supposed to be on them porn shows, brother. You on the wrong show, man.
You on the wrong show, bro. You on the wrong show.
This is where I do. Before we get out of here, I gotta tell you one of the things I did like that she did. Not only did she fillet him with the comment, but she said, "Open your phone right now. I'm gonna need all that money I fronted you back.
I'm gonna need that money now. Venmo it right now.
Right now. No, and then he was like, okay. He like, yo, if you were Steven, would you have Venmo'd that money right then and there? You could have been a finesse king and been like, my phone dead. I'll do it later.
Nah, I think he felt bad. I think he felt bad. I think he felt bad.
This is the thing though. Not only Steven feel bad, but you could tell that look on his face when she said, I need you to Venmo me all my money, and she gave him the exact amount, which they blurted out.
Yep.
You could tell like he was like, I ain't got it though. Like I can get it to you, but now how I'm gonna eat later?
But now I'm done. Like I can't even. I don't even know. Like literally, she probably walked out of her condo in the morning. Steven right there with his bag.
No,
she ain't got the Uber money.
Steven ain't got the Uber money. Steven can't get a $5 Biggie bag. He's completely on the bricks, bro. Steven
I'm gonna tell
in
you,
his car looking for crackers and stuff.
Bro,
he's sleeping in his car right now.
One of those cameramen, those production people, they probably took him home. Somebody gave him a ride.
Bro, if he still had a place to go home to. Let's just start there. Because the man ain't had no work in 3 months. However long they went through this process, he quit his job, basically. So I'd have been like, hey man, you know I'm a little down bad. Let me stay in one of the apartments and you know I still shoot, man. But I need my money up front though, because I'm a little down bad right now. Steven got to do whatever he can to stay on this show because I know he down bad, and that's okay because everybody be down bad at some point. But he there right now. He on the brick.
Yeah, he was.
Steven didn't play his hand right too, because I know people to be like they met somebody and the person never went home and they got married. I don't understand that. I think that's crazy. I never would be in a situation like that. But Steven played his cards all wrong. He played them all wrong.
He messed up when he DM'd her. That was it. Like he couldn't keep it to himself. He's a freak and he couldn't hide his fetish.
He couldn't hide it anymore.
His fetishes.
Yeah, he couldn't hide it.
He couldn't hide it.
That's what they was talking about with the fireworks. They was going over all the freak stuff and man, so
yeah, he was just anticipating all the DMs coming in, talking about you trying to get it wet, and I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to not respond to that. Sorry. He already told Garrett, dog. I'm telling you right now, dog.
I ain't got no self-control. I can't do it. That's horrible, man.
All right, man.
Well, y'all let us know who y'all like in this, whole thing. Which couples do you like?
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to be a train wreck? Who do you think is going to get married? We want to hear from y'all. Hey, like,
man.
Share,
comment.
subscribe. Comment.
Like,
share, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.